Hi, everybody. This is Richard Sims here. Richard Sims. Blah, blah, blah. What's there to say? What's there to say? Not much. Not much. I am looking for a job again after having a really good job, TSA. But I'm talking about every 2 weeks I got paid $1,000 and change. So, I mean, to a bunch of white people, that may seem like pennies, but to me, that was extraordinary. I'm talking, I could have had money to burn in a lot of ways, plus play the stock market. It's not over, I'm not dumb. I don't do things without having some kind of forethought. I've never done anything in my whole life without thinking what could possibly be plan B here. And although I am trepidatious about, whatever these next steps may be, that's how I do things. I do things with a very cavalier attitude. Yeah, it may be dangerous and may get people killed. I understand that, but it's the way the world works, in my opinion. I do not believe that we have all the answers. This idea that everything we know it all kind of thing, that don't make no sense to me. Life is an unpredictable thing. There's a tornado that killed a bunch of kids. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and it's just very sad and depressing, and you can't predict life. Life goes crazy sometimes, doesn't go crazy, and so I don't. I know some people are like, yo, dude, you're not super serious and stuff, but I don't think that's how world, I don't think there's anything wrong with being, uh, having a laugh at things in life. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because look at it this way. I have been through a lot of stuff since first ever since the start, since I was very little, and it's not ended. And it's like it's you're like you go through a war when you're a kid, and then you think to yourself, maybe I'll get a moment's peace right now, and then people will tell you, no, all there is to life is war, 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 hell, hell, hell. And then you look on the internet and you see the way people live, the way people do things. You see a girl getting fucked in her asshole or some shit like that. You think to yourself, is that the world? Is it just that people are addicted to sex and that's it? You just can't go a day without getting that fix or some shit like that? Is that how the world works? That's really sad, you know? Why is it that you grow up watching something like Lamb Chop and Mr. Rogers? You don't see Lamb Chop fucking Charlie Horse in the ass, you know? What happened? You know? Regardless, I mean, kids be kids. They won't have any interest in sexuality until that time comes. Everything is just fucking happiness in Disney World to them until that moment comes when they fucking, you know, apparently it's like I like seeing how girls operate, the way they do things. They're just retarded, you know, to me. It's like I never really thought that, I have a lot of respect and love for females, but then you actually see what the fuck is like their attitude about life, what they think about life, and you get the real big picture. You know, it's just it's kind of really it's just backwards. It's upside down. You know, they don't know who they are or what they're doing until a man pretty much takes control of them and you know tells them who they are. That's so fucked up. You know what I mean? It's a man's world, not because men want it, but because of women are stupid. It's just as simple as that. It's just women are dumb. And I've met super smart, elite intellectual females, yet they're still a woman. You know, they're gonna do stupid shit for the sake of it, and then be like, I didn't do anything. So be looking out for that. You're gonna come across that when you get older. There's a lot of things I can tell you as far as my wisdom that I've learned about life. I can tell you quite a few things about women and the bullshit they pull, and about the way the world looks upon males, and what it means to be black as well. You know, it is it's not bad. It's not the end of the world if you're black. You know, the world is not a lot of we live in a much it is a better time to be black nowadays. No white man's gonna go pick out a whip and whip you in the street or some shit like that. Nah, white people are mad, relaxed, and chilled. They're not out to look for no trouble no more. You know, you can be a relaxed dude, and you're gonna find white people are like, I don't like black people still, but it's cool. Nobody's straight up, I'm gonna be a complete racist jackass kind of attitude no more. But you are black. No one wants to. No one wants to have. You know, it's the we all don't really. We all have to decide who you're gonna pregnate, who you're gonna have a kid with, and you don't think that when you're a kid. You think the world's a freaking cool place and all. But yeah, once you get to the point where you are a black male in your 20s and shit, and you're shooting semen all over the fucking room, you are no longer, um, you're not funny. You're not a funny little kid anymore. You are a potential danger to a white guy and his daughter that he has and things like that. He doesn't want you, shooting your load all over his daughter's face. You know what I mean? Shit. As much as you might see that in porn, the reality is that that's the problem. Nobody's saying black people are this, black people are that. People are saying, I have a daughter and a son. I take care of them, I raise them, I'll do anything for them. I go to die in war. That damn day comes when they get to puberty and they get a black boyfriend and bring that motherfucker home, it's over. You know what I mean? Uh, but there's a good side to being black. What is the good side? What the fuck is the good side? Not much of one, but you don't actually have to get involved with anything. You can live your whole life to the day you die underneath a rock, and no one will fucking give a shit about you. There's no pressure. That's one good thing about being black. Nobody in the world, people are pretty much like, I'm not concerned with black people at all. I'm not concerned with who they are, what they're gonna do with their lives. I don't give a shit. And that's a good thing. Because if you're Asian and white and Spanish and you're not going to university and getting a degree and going out and trying to fly a spaceship around the world and the moon and all that stuff, people are gonna say, what's wrong with you? The option is there. Why wouldn't you take it? When you're black, if you don't take that option, people say, well, of course, you're black. You're not going to get much out of that anyway. And of course, even if you do, who are you going to marry? You know what I mean? Nobody. Um, so that's the good thing about it. I can do a lot of things. I can go crazy, man. I can do a lot of crazy things, and the world will not give a shit. You know, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit about life, about doing anything great. I was great. I was the happiest person alive when I was working at TSA because here I am. I'm this anonymous element in a big TSA is $1 billion funded federal institution. I'm just this one little worker showing up for work every day. I didn't matter. I just sat back, relaxed, and enjoyed all the Spanish girls and the hot white girls around me. I was just enjoying my job. There's this big Spanish girl titties everywhere. It was just great. I was having a good time. I hope to get back into that. Hope to fuck a girl at some point. I'm getting tired of this, I must say. I go outside the house here, and so this really gorgeous Indian girl walks by with ass like, whoa. And I'm just like, I want to follow her home. I'll go down to the corner store, get some fucking sandwich. This blazingly hot black chick, comes walking out of the fucking laundromat with all her clothes and shit. And she's just beautiful. I just think I want to pounce on her. It's not easy, it just sucks. You think to yourself, it's not, what are you supposed to think? What are you supposed to do? It's not no bad thing to want to get with a chick, but it's not gonna work out. Not in America, man. Out there in the fucking other countries, China and shit like that, females are expected to stay home, not fucking no job or nothing. They're supposed to just be women. You know what I mean? Yeah, in America is all fucked up. I don't know how this country works. I honestly don't. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe we're all going straight down the tubes and we just don't know it. But yeah, you fucking yourself. That's why I'm gonna stay. It's not gonna be easy. But a lot of people want to say I'm a pussy. I'm taking the easy way in life. But what's the things I'm going to accomplish by staying away from women are going to be bigger, better, and I'm going to have more money, more power, more opportunities than all these people who are out there saying I want 10 kids. You know, I've always had this plan. When I was a little kid, I said to myself, all these assholes around me are gonna go get girls. They're gonna get her pregnant. They're gonna have a family. They're worried about finances. Probably gonna fucking kill themselves after they fucking figure out having stuff like that is not so fun. It's hard work. You know. Everybody wants that fucking life where they got a nice little child and everything, but once they actually get to the point where the kid's going crazy and they have to deal with it, it's not easy. It's not easy. You gotta fucking man up and take it on. Some people don't got it, man. Um, so I'm not. It's not about easy. It's about smart. If you want to have the opportunities, like me, I want to learn Spanish. I'm really getting deep into that. Uh, I learned a couple words. Very kind. Uh, allá, hablame, something like that. Anyway, I know what these are. Anteojos. I know how to say uh, nose, ojo, nariz, boca, cabeza is the entire head, and of course, ojos is eyes, ears is what the fuck is ears? Mm, we'll get to that later. Well, I just downloaded a C++ compiler, and on my way to trying to understand C++ because I believe that I'm hoping that once that I can figure out the whole thing out. It's not going to be easy, but that's the point. I'm taking on a task that no man can do. No man probably hopes he can do. You know what I mean? It's going to be rough, but it's going to yield so much greater reward. I mean, potential to have a great career in the computer and technology field. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Because that's the future. All this shit that we think, oh, I'll just get a job as a cop, businessman, I'll be accountant, I'll just do my job here at fucking Delta Airlines, ticket agent or some shit like that as a career. You're not gonna do nothing with that. Everything is going to be computers in the future. And the question is why? Why? Well, because that's where everything matters now. You know what I mean? Every business is run by computer. Everything that used to be very much analog is now becoming digital. We're going to need people who are capable of understanding how to code a an entire website. You know what I mean? for a business or a company or some shit like that. If you can do that stuff and you're good at it, you're gonna be all right. You know what I mean? And you don't have to lift anything all day. That's the difference. Of course, everything is computers now. Fucking flight systems on an aircraft are being changed. In fact, the you know how airlines don't even use the GPS navigation system. They use some sort of radio positioning system that's been around since the dawn of the whole airline industry. They haven't fucking changed over to GPS yet, which they should. Mind you, all of that stuff, GPS, all these things are computer systems that are controlled by computers, you know? And funnily enough, it's funny, the GPS system is based on time. Everything about it is time, time, time. Anytime. The way that that thing calculates your position on the Earth is by calculating how long the signal took to reach the satellite, and however long it took must mean that you moved maybe 5 meters, moved 6 meters. And the funny thing is the clock inside of the satellite, it's actually being distorted by the gravitational field of the Earth. So they have to actually manually reset, or automatically, I don't know how it works, but they have to reset the clock on the satellite to compensate for the gravitational field of the Earth, because space can warp time, and the clocks on the GPS satellites will go out of sync for a little bit because of the space-time warp that's going on. Do I understand it fully? No, but it's actually that's how it works. Some fucking they have to the Air Force has to reset the clocks in the satellite to compensate for the fucking gravitational field of the Earth distorting the time field out there. God damn, you know what I mean? You think to yourself, time travel ain't possible, but it happens every day. Clock's fucking going out of whack because of space time bullshit going on up there. And you're thinking, hey, what the fuck? But it's true. So I think to myself anyway, oh, this thing, I could probably actually do it. I could probably actually build a time machine. People are working on it right now. Are they gonna fucking, actually do it? Are they gonna build a fucking time machine? Hopefully, that'd be great. You know what I mean? If we could actually maybe go to the future and see what the fuck's up in there, it's a thought. It's more of a thing that's like for entertainment purposes, time travel. No one actually thinks of that as a serious concept that we can actually accomplish. But I think about it all the time. It's a dream. I would hope to one day actually build a time machine. Um, thing is that I believe it. I don't know. I'm conceptualizing a million different variables that it could be done through chemical processes, and it needs, similar to the Time Machine Back to the Future, that it needs speed. You have to be going faster than the speed of light. You have to do something like that, or you need some sort of laser device that's going to somehow warp and distort time. That's the real way it's going to be done. If it ever gets done, you're going to need a warp device. You're going to need something that's going to actually bend space. And that's the key, I think. When you can actually bend and distort space and time are linked, you have actual time being displaced as well. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens. A black hole, it's out there in it's actually warping space. Nothing can escape it, and of course it distorts time as well. So yeah, light can't fucking escape a black hole. That's what's going on. So if you can somehow harness the power of that magnitude, and that's what they're thinking about. They're thinking like, what can we do to actually harness that amount of kind of power? One of the things that they're doing right now is like they say, okay, let's try to collect antimatter, because whenever antimatter meets matter, it's going to have this huge monumental explosion that's going to emit a massive amount of power that can be potentially harnessed for some whatever damn thing they want to do with it. And I'm thinking to myself, so the real question isn't, we have to, if we want to see if we get the truth of the matter is, the real truth, hardcore, undeniable truth of the matter is that if we want to somehow, some way travel through time, we have to bend space and manipulate it, which we're too small to do, unfortunately. We're like little tiny peanuts. We're not nothing. We're dust in this gigantic thing called space. And as much as we hope for or try to, all these technologies we build, all these monumental constructions we create, are infinitesimal in this vastness of space. Even the Earth itself is just this little tiny planet. We're nothing compared to Jupiter. We're nothing compared to a lot of giant planets out there. You know? How in the hell human beings, as smart as we are, going to actually bend and warp space? That is, I mean, who knows? You know, all this stuff we put in these movies and shit, as fantastic as they are, I don't think they're true. I don't think any kind of. That's the thing on the Starship. The Starship has a device in it which actually somehow, some way distorts and warps and bends space so that the Starship can skip millions of billions of miles within seconds. Technically, it is basically passing faster than the speed of light, which is impossible. Einstein himself has said that speed of light is the limit of speed in this world. There's nothing that can go faster than it. And of course, light itself takes time to move through fucking space. You know? So how the hell are we gonna go faster than that? And even if we did, I don't know. Teleportation, they say, just figure out a way to create a device that allows you to fucking just teleport. Or I would say become a particle that is actually faster. I don't know. We're thinking too big, in my opinion. The idea that you can just somehow become faster than light or something like that, that don't make no sense to me. And warp space, that don't make no sense to me. You know? But, we all thought that the Earth was flat for a little bit, didn't we? And we realized, hey, wait a minute, that made no damn sense. So, maybe we're still in that fucking era. We all think that the world is flat. But then there's this giant thing of knowledge around the corner that we're missing out on. And that when we finally get to that point, we see it, that's that's probably when we're gonna be like, oh my god, why how could we have missed this all these years? You know? And that's why racism's such an antiquated concept to me. I'm just gonna say that honestly. I'm whenever I go out a lot of times on the job, and there's like, I get a little bit of heat from white people sometimes, but I don't really feel like, oh my god, woe is me, the world, because that doesn't matter right now. It don't matter ever. What we gotta figure out is how we're going to utilize the best minds in the world. You know what I mean? And that's the hope. That's the hope. Is that regardless of your dark, black, ugly, chocolate ass, you intelligent. And you're gonna be fucking contributing to the vast quantities of knowledge and complexities of science in this world that we're all striving to improve and build upon. That's the hope. And that's the dream I've always had anyway. I always thought to myself, oh, all these fucking kids around me and acting stupid and shit. But one or two of them smart. One or two of them's gonna come together and bring about some kind of intelligent thing, and we're all gonna collaborate on it. So that's the way the world works, I suppose. We do have a lot of very stupid knuckleheads out there in the world doing stupid things, but there is some few very smart men coming together and saying, let's create good things. Let's create great things. Let's do what we got to do. Be the ones who are standing there being a beacon of hope to society. You know what I mean? And that's what I hope and believe in. Anyway, I still believe in it. You know, I just yeah, that transcends art and science and you know, the advancement of the human species are above and beyond race. You know what I mean? They're just so much more impactful. Mind you, there are white people who are like, oh my god, any black guy who's super fucking smart, we're not gonna let nobody know about it kind of attitude. And that's them. That's what they want to do. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. You know, and you're really gonna say that? You're gonna fucking brush a person's achievements and intelligence under the rug like that? That's cool. That's great. Anyway, that means nothing in the end. We're all not gonna be. Every last one of us today, here now, is not going to be around to give a shit. So what does it matter in the end? It's a fucked up concept. Oh, you can do all kinds of things with your life. La 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 la. But in the end, you're just going to die. So whatever. And I always knew that. I always knew death was an ever present concern. So what I've always done was said, if you want to do what you got to do, you have to make an incredible sacrifice. Life is a sacrifice game. It's a game, man. You're either gonna fucking actually put your coking in, you know, think of a female's vagina like a slot machine or some shit. You're gonna put your token in and play with the idea of having a family, or you're not. And you're gonna have a lot more opportunities to do a lot more things. And before you die. Kids will suck the fucking life out of you before you're damn dead. You know what I mean? There are different kinds of parents in this world. I'm gonna be tough, no nonsense. I'm not gonna give a shit what my kids are doing. Two kinds. You know what I mean? And then there's people like me. I'm not alone. There are a lot of people in this world who say I don't want kids because it's just gonna lead to straight down. You're gonna be just sliding down a big slide toward bullshit. So, you know, you grow up dealing with kids all your life. Why would you want to deal with your kids all the rest of it? In my opinion, don't make no sense. No. And of course, it's a smart thing to do. In my opinion, it's a smart thing to do because there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more to see. There's a lot more to accomplish. Imagine I get my job back at Delta. I don't got no kids. I'm in my 20s. I'm flying over to Japan, Honolulu, Mexico. I'm fucking bitches all over the world. I'm smacking Asian girl ass. I'm smacking, every girl ass there is on this planet. I'm fucking the shit out of that. And, that's not a bad situation to end up in. No kids, just fucking flying all over the world, Johnny Quest. And then just fucking and fucking some more. Shooting your load all over every bitch's face in the world. That's the greatest life ever, motherfucker. Shit. So I'm hoping for that. I knew it, I'll tell you this. When I was thinking about, damn. I click on the website Delta Careers and it says no openings for JFK. I said to myself, that's bullshit. That's such bullshit. Because okay, maybe they hired like 50 people for the job because they opened T4. They hired 50 people. Okay, good. You hired a bunch of good people. They're doing the job. Whatever. Half of them are gonna quit. Half of them got the job because they had no fucking clue what the hell it's gonna entail. And they fucking actually lifting hundreds of bags a day, back aching after the fucking day. And they said to themselves, yeah, I want to fly all over the world, but fuck this bullshit. And then they quit. Or on the flip side of that, they got the job because they're highly educated, and then they just got their foot in the door down to work a little while on the ramp, and they went over to the ticket side, they went over to the engineering side, whatever they did. A lot of people do that. They get the fucking job doing the bag thing, and then they say to themselves, yeah, this is stupid. And then they go to the fucking ticket agent side of things. Me, I don't mind doing the bag shit. So I'm really hoping they hire me back there. You know what I mean? I'd do that shit for the rest of my fucking life if I could. You're telling me all I gotta do is toss a fucking bag and then I get to go jump all over the fucking world, enjoy first class dining? That's the shit I miss the most about working in Delta. I sat in first class. I got served steak, chicken, potatoes. I got a nice little glass. You know what I mean? I got a little glass cup, and they pour you fucking anything in there, water, apple juice, orange juice. You in first class. You know what I mean? Getting the Ritz. You sitting there next to some guy who's gonna be figuring out the next. He's working on his laptop. You look at his laptop. He's figuring out the next giant chemical composure of a technical plant factory. He's a designer of that fucking shit. He flies first class all the time. You toss bags. You sit next to a dude who's designing the next giant nuclear power plant. Oh shit. You know what I mean? I felt like shit sitting there next to that dude. But whatever. um, what else? Yeah, I'm gonna get my job back. I left Delta because TSA seemed like a good ass bet. Getting paid $15.75 an hour. You're not doing as much work. That was the idea in my head. Oh, this is a good idea. It wasn't bad. The girls working at TSA are gorgeous. It's not so bad to go to work and have big ass fucking delicious Latina girl titties staring you in the face. It's not bad at all. The people there, some to some degree, are assholes and stupid and shit. But it doesn't matter when you just go to work and you're standing there with this fucking gorgeous 20-year-old girl, and she's got the biggest titties in the world, and she's just hot as fuck, and you're just like, oh, good God. Not bad. You go to high school like me and you never get no pussy at all. And then it's not a bad thing to go to work. Fuck it. I was thinking, fuck it. I want to fuck the shit out of this bitch. You know what I mean? It's just fucking hot. She was ready too. She's just fucking 20 years old. She's got a nice little apartment somewhere. She doesn't she's not thinking she's gotta be a prude or nothing. She ain't got no kids or nothing. She's a stupid little 20-year-old bitch. I was thinking to myself, I want to fuck the shit out of that bitch. Fucking skeet all over her face, my dick in her mouth and her asshole, smack her around a little bit, fucking squeeze her titties and all that shit. Then problem is, we both work at the same place. You go and you fuck a bitch hard like that, and then you go back to work with her the next day. It's not gonna be no smart decision. You know what I mean? I wanted to. You want to. You're fucking human fucking being with a dick hard as a rock. You know what I mean? And you're there with this fucking beautiful bitch. And it's hard to work around a beautiful bitch. It really is. How you gonna do that? How you gonna have them big fucking titties and you're just gonna sit there looking hot as shit and you're gonna make every guy around you hard as a rock? That's that's fucked up shit. That's not right. You don't fucking put them big ass titties around up in a nigga's face like that. But that's what some girls do. It's just, you live and learn. Um, there are females in this world who are hot as shit, and yet to them in their fucking head, they're not that hot because they met a really much hotter girl or some shit. So to them, they think that they're ugly duck. What the fucking curves and big ass titties and cute little face, all that shit good, and they're gonna be like, oh, I'm not that hot, so what? Shrug. Or they a tomboy. That's another fucking thing you gotta figure out. A lot of '90s girls. '90s was a time when females were feminist movie was real serious. Girls were expected to pretty much be men. So we got a generation of females who are utterly convinced that, oh, despite the fact that I have this big juicy ass, this giant big ass sack of titties on my chest, I'm equal to a man. And you will find those bitches out there, man. Where you have to work with a girl who's just dangling her big titties in your face, and you're just not supposed to be attracted to nothing. Everything's equal, but no, there's a big pack of delicious titties just dangling around right there in front of your face, and you're not supposed to want to fucking squeeze the shit out of them. No, of course not. Oh, why would I ever? Shit. Fucking shit. Anyway, never mind that. Never mind that. Never mind. I'm just gonna fucking not bother with none of these bitches in this country as much as I want to. I'm gonna stick to, you know, not. I'm just gonna stick to doing what I think is right and studying and improving the brain power, because as a nigga, you gotta be smart in this world. Although a lot of people will say, don't worry about it, just get a job doing little things somewhere, because who cares? We're all here to fuck. We're not here to actually do accomplish a lot of things. There's smart people are fucking too. Every dumb people are fucking too. Everybody's fucking. So just fuck and work. Fuck and work. Don't worry about the big political bullshit going on in the world and war and all that shit. Just fuck and go to do your work. Fuck and go do. I can agree with that. I'd love to be one of those people who's not worried about Afghanistan, Iraq, and all that shit. And he just fucks his girl, goes to work, fucks his girl again, goes to work. Wonderful idea. I would love to join that fucking shit, but we don't play like that right now, you know. I don't know what to do with time and life and all the things. I don't know. I'm like Dustin fucking Hoffman in that goddamn Graduate movie, except I'm black. I don't know why a bunch of white people are showing a black guy The Graduate. That movie is about a white man who is having trouble figuring out what he wants to do